Okay.
12 to 2, I'll be with you. It's Alien X Radio.
You're listening to Inside the Mothership on Alien X Radio in Detroit, Michigan. Raw Talk Online in Tampa, Florida. 24.7 The Stream in Chicago, Illinois. And 920 WON The Apple in New York City, New York.
What's it look like?
Can't get near enough to see it very well. Too hot. It's a whale of a size.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's something I haven't mentioned in all this excitement, but it's becoming more distinct. Perhaps you've caught it already on your radio. Listen, please.
That location is definitely extraterrestrial. Not found on this Earth.
I can give you no authoritative information, either to their nature, their origin, or their purposes here on Earth. All too evident that these creatures have scientific knowledge far in advance of our own.
Everybody, good afternoon and welcome. You have been beamed aboard. You are now inside the Mothership on AlienXRadio.com. And of course, all my paperwork is missing, because I want to tell you all of my affiliates too. I'll have to tell you that when I come back. Yeah, the Mothership is a disaster today, folks. It's an absolute disaster. Coronavirus is destroying the planet. Our governors have all gone completely insane. Our government doesn't know which end is what, who to listen to, what to do, when to do it. Microsoft is taking a dump in all of my equipment. Yet somehow, here we are broadcasting live directly into your Vajir holes. Some of the live affiliates that I can name off the top of my head is the Paranormal Junkyard Network, the Lime City Radio Network, Raw Talk Online, UG Media, AlienXRadio.com, WCETFM. Those are our live affiliates. And then, of course, we've got other affiliates in syndication and on replay around the world. And I do want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. You can contact me at 1-313-444-8919. Again, that's 1-313-444-8919. I am ready to talk about anything, folks. Any and everything. Whatever subject it is that you would like to talk about, go ahead and give me a call. Again, that's 1-313-444-8919. Or you can Skype me. That's Alienstone and the number 1 altogether. Alienstone1. Don't spell out the 1. It's the number 1. You'd be wrong if you spelled it out. Alienstone1 on Skype. We'll talk about the coronavirus. We'll talk about lockdowns. We'll talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. Now, I'm quite blown away and shocked right now. I myself can't hear all of the stations right now to hear the quality of the broadcast. But I can say this. I am pretty shocked and blown away at this very moment that I have 6 encoders running live onto 6 different radio stations live right now, as well as broadcasting onto Facebook and onto YouTube all simultaneously. And the reason why I'm shocked by this, which is a normal feat for my station, by the way, is that almost everything is stressed right now as far as bandwidth goes. Why is this? Because everyone's sitting at home. Everybody's locked down, okay? Everybody was told if you're not getting food because you're starving, if you're not getting medicine because you're dying, if you're not going to work because you're an essential employee, you must be at home. So if you're at home, what are you doing? You're watching cat videos on YouTube and Facebook. That's what you're doing. So everybody is all on YouTube at the same exact time. Okay, I'm not complaining about people being on there because I do my show online for a reason, for people to watch it online. Okay, so that's what people should be doing. But it is an unprecedented amount of people currently online using up the bandwidth. So that being said, I am kind of impressed and shocked that I'm actually seeing all of this stuff functioning. The camera looks like crap. Okay, it keeps locking and jerking around and stuff. But then again, I'm using a crappy computer for that. Anyway, welcome to the show again. It is Inside the Mothership. My co-host, D-Unit, still on lockdown as well at home. It turns out that he is perfectly healthy and fine. He has a sinus infection. He does not have the Rona, but nonetheless, he still lives in the same area, so he has lockdown as well. Going to a radio show is not essential, so he will not be here co-hosting today. Maybe we can get him to call in a little bit later on, do some D's music news or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Again, anybody give me a call at any time. 313-444-8919. Right now, I'm going to get into some music for your Vajir Holes. Echo 7, the name of the band, and One Step Away, the name of the song, and I'm one step away from insanity. On the lockdown version of Inside the Mothership.
Can't believe it's happening. One more step away from being what I never thought I'd be. So tell me, it's funny how the pieces came unglued. It's funny how you think you have a clue as to the nature of this game. We play beneath you, you're beneath me. Scrape it all away until I'm hollow. I can't believe it came to be. One more step away from losing everything inside of me. You're so intriguing. It's funny how we all just broke into. It's funny how you think I live for you and I don't even know your name. Tell me I'm beneath you, you're beneath me. Scrape it all away until I'm hollow. Beneath you, you're beneath me. Scrape it all away until I'm hollow. Scrape away until I'm hollow. Scrape away until I'm hollow. Scrape away until I'm hollow. Help me, I'm beneath you, you're beneath me. Scrape it all away until I'm hollow. Not beneath you, you're beneath me. Scrape it all away until I'm hollow.
You're listening to Inside the Mothership on Code Zero Radio in Des Moines, Iowa. RFM 1025 Northampton in the UK. WRPR Rat Pack Radio in St. Pete, Florida. And 920 WON The Apple in New York City, New York.
Seasons too, I dive into
Resistance is futile. Probing is not allowed. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. That's 313-444-8919. Or hang out in the chat room at alienxradio.com. You have been deemed aboard and you are now inside the mothership with Alien Stone.
Folks, welcome back. You are inside the mothership. I'm your host, Alien Stone. Just got word, man. We got a whole bunch of people listening on the Paranormal Junkyard Radio Network. Hello, everybody listening over there. Fantastic affiliate of ours. We are live currently on that station right now, so anybody listening want to give me a call, 313-444-8919. That's 313-444-8919. Have you ever done something where you set something up, quote-unquote, temporarily, and you're like, oh, I'll remember to change that later, and you don't. And it's one of those things that doesn't like blaringly shine in your face, telling you that, hey, you forgot to change this. Well, earlier today, I'm working on the video system here inside the mothership, and I'm making tweaks and adjustments and stuff because, as I said, Microsoft crapped all over inside my computer again. So I had to make a lot of adjustments to the video feed. Now, I didn't want to make all of my friends on Facebook upset with, 5 dozen 30-second videos of me going, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3. So after I did a few videos, I realized I'm going to be making people upset. So I went in and made an adjustment so that only I could see my live videos while I was testing. And I was like, I'll remember to switch that back. Right. So here I was in my first music break of my live show that's broadcasting to myself only on Facebook because I did not switch that setting. And apparently you can't switch that setting once the video starts. So you had to end that Facebook video, start a new Facebook video, and then reshare that Facebook video. So now I've got people joining me and watching live now that people can actually see it. Also, don't forget you can head over to the Alien X Radio YouTube channel. Please sign up for that. All of the shows inside the mothership and the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space broadcast live on there as well. So today is kind of a unique show. We're in a very unique situation in the world today. Most people are on lockdown, meaning you cannot leave your house. Unless it's for an official reason. So you can't go over your friend's house and do a radio show. So D-Unit is on lockdown at his house. So I have no co-host today. So we don't have the normal things that would normally be happening here inside the mothership. Like we're not going to have a Just a Few Questions. That is a horrible thing. I'm going to have to play one from maybe I'll play the one from last week because it's very relevant still. It was called Quarantine. That was the name of that one. So maybe I'll play that one again. In fact, I think I definitely will. That's going to be a good one. We'll play that for you again. So all this is going on. People are on lockdown. Everybody is sitting at home watching cat videos. So because everybody's watching cat videos, now we are fighting over bandwidth. So here I am trying to broadcast on all of these stations and everything. So let's go ahead and push the bandwidth even further by seeing how many people we can get on the phone lines at the same time at 313-444-8919 until the whole thing crashes and just comes tumbling down. Huh? Let's see. Oh, I just unplugged my headphones too. I always love when that happens. My foot gets wrapped around it. Unplugs. There we go. Now I can hear myself. Because I won't know what I'm saying if I don't hear myself, right? Right. So, let's talk for just a moment about some of the unfortunate cancellations that are occurring because of this pandemic and this shutdown, this mandatory shutdown. Which, by the way, I'm an essential employee with my job, so I don't get shut down. I deliver packages for Amazon, so I'm delivering bottled water and toilet paper all day. Trust me. Okay? But obviously we know they've canceled sports pretty much across the board. Sports have been canceled. The AFL, I think, is still, I can't remember. I think that they're still operating. But, yeah, everything's shut down. No sports. We know that a lot of restaurants have completely shut down, but, you know, the ones that are trying to stay afloat, you know, they're doing pickup and deliveries and things of that nature. Concerts are canceled. You know, school trips are canceled. School is canceled. You can't gather together in groups. Now they don't want you to gather together with anybody unless they are in your immediate household. So everybody's supposed to stay at home. What else has been canceled? That's unfortunate. Well, let's see. Heavy metal vomit parties. Heavy metal vomit parties are currently and indefinitely canceled, I guess, until we can get control of the coronavirus. Then everybody can go back to sex, drugs, rock, roll, and puking. Speaking of sex, if you were planning on going to the gangbang, that's over. That's not going to happen. Okay, group sex canceled, orgies canceled. You know, whatever number of people go to the different titles, orgy or group sex. What I don't know. I'm not involved. Never been involved. Those are all canceled. You know, what about first dates? Those are over. Nobody had a first date, believe me. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? I want to pick you up at your house, but I have to have an essential reason to go to your house. So I'll go ahead and sign up for Uber Eats, and then you place an order for the food that we're going to have on our date. I'll go pick it up from the restaurant, drive it on over to your house. Now, that's all official. I'm officially working. Then we're staying in the home while we have our date. And then, of course, you have to be allowed to drive home from work, right? You're given letters. You're given a letter to carry with you when you're driving around that says you're an essential employee. A letter. There's no picture of you on it. There's no official stamp or seal. They're in different stationery, different shape sizes, different logos, different language from different company to company. So it's all really just stupid. It really is. If you're going to have a lockdown, you got to have a lockdown. Okay? Seriously, a lockdown. But you're going to scare a lot of people if you do a real lockdown. You know, a real lockdown means you are issued an official ID that you have to wear around your neck. Okay? And no, you don't get to just go to Burger King and get some food like did happen for me today. We got Burger King. It's considered essential for you to go and get food and come back. Burger King is essential, according, it's not really, but I get it. And they want you to use your credit card. They don't want you to use cash, probably because they don't want to have all the stuff you're handing them in a box that they got to count later. They'd rather you hand them your dirty credit card that they're going to hold with a pair of gloves on and then hand it back to you and get it out of their face. I'm assuming that's why. Anyway, big shout out to everybody that is watching on Facebook. We got Tom, we got Richard, we got Brad, we got Todd, and Rob. Everybody's tuning in, checking me out. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening to Inside the Mothership. I'm going to play some more music for your Vajir host because, like I said, today's a bit of an odd day. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do... How much time have I got? I got a little bit of time here. I'm going to play... What have we got here? One of the best bands we have here on our station is the Creeping Chaos, of course. And they were on our station, they've been on our station for years and years through, both albums for sure. So we were at Alien X Fest where they were headlining, and it was their first time ever headlining at the Token Lounge. And we caught up with the boys. If I can find the freaking interview. I know I have it somewhere. There it is. No, that's the song. Really? I did not grab the interview. I bet I did. This is called Weekly Interview, Okay, it doesn't say who it is. That's nice. All right, anyway, I'm going to play a song from the Creeping Chaos. If I can find the interview, I'll play it right after that. It was loaded in here 5 seconds ago, and now suddenly it's not here, of course. That's the way it's working now. So anyway, Up to the Neck by the Creeping Chaos, which was the #1 song on the Alien X Radio waves, whatever you want to say. I don't know. Maybe I got the corona in the mouth. I don't know what the deal is. Up to the Neck, Creeping Chaos inside the Mothership.
Bang, and everything came to a halt right before the final assault. But you gotta keep running your mouth. Nobody in the right mind would ever want to put the trust in you. Nobody ever figured you out. Stranded and beaten and starved like a dog, while all the crooks live high on the hog. Choices and changes don't seem to relate. Up to the neck, I've had all I can take. Damn, I can't believe what you allow. Just because you're a little bit in doubt, you can like him in a straight face. So serve with the state of affairs. Try to look like you really care, but you're about to get put in your place. Stranded and beaten and starved like a dog, while all the crooks live high on the hog. Choices and changes don't seem to relate. Up to the neck, I've had all I can take. Stranded and beaten and starved like a dog, while all the crooks live high on the hog. Choices and changes don't seem to relate. Up to the neck, I've had all I can take.
We have Rob here from Creeping Chaos. What's going on, man?
Just waiting to get up there. Getting excited for get the first band rolling, and
Yeah, you
Looking
guys
forward to it.
are our headliner. This is your first headliner here at the Token Lounge, isn't
this
it?
is our first time headlining here. Yes, this is pretty cool. And
Yeah.
thank you for picking us.
Are they going to give you the curtain?
Oh yeah.
Are they giving you the curtain?
Oh, we're getting the curtain.
Oh, awesome.
Sorry.
Oh, by the way, also, because we had less bands than normal, we only had 5 this time around. There's some extra time. So if I remember correctly on the set list, I believe that Concrete Angels is getting like 45 minutes, and you guys are getting like an hour.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna have a lot longer set than we normally have, and we're gonna be playing some stuff off of the new album as well as some of the stuff you guys have played.
That's going to be great, man, because I've heard some of the stuff. I caught one of your shows here, and you played a lot of new tunes. I mean, not all of them, obviously.
We tried. I think 2 new ones out last time when you were here. Yeah. And, we've got one that, Beg for Mercy, obviously, you guys have played. That's going to be on the new album. So
Yeah.
Now, are you prepared for the longer show? I mean, you worked on your did Tentacle Face work on his cardio so he can last the whole show?
Yeah, he's resting right now, I think.
Gotcha.
But once the music starts, that's what summons him.
Gotcha.
So he's got resting tentacle face.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, he was a little perturbed with me for summoning him yesterday. But,
Yeah, I saw the video. He didn't look happy. He was like, "Wait a minute." It's like
He never looks happy.
He looked like you do if you wake up an hour before your alarm goes off.
If you looked like that every day, would you be happy?
No, of course not. It's like I can't.
He looks like
eat
that guy
'cause
on
tentacles
Futurama.
are in the way.
Why not the Zoidberg? Whoa.
I have yet to see. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you'll see it.
We
Okay.
have a tentacled eldritch creature that comes out on stage with us
Sweet.
while we play. So
Yeah, it's a trip.
if you dare get close enough, he might throw you some free merch.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
be sure to get close enough then.
That's cool.
Hey, do you guys have new material you're playing tonight?
Yeah, we're going to be playing, I think, 3 new tunes tonight.
Awesome.
Maybe 4. We'll see.
Wow.
So when you has this ever happened before where you were told like last minute that you had a little more time to play some music?
It's happened a couple times before. Sometimes they, when they've done that, we've said, okay, well then that means if like a band, like we've had a band drop off. That was one of the earlier acts, and then we all just said, okay, well cool. Well then, so there's 20 minutes or whatever the hell it was gone. Why don't we divvy that up among the other people?
Right.
You know.
So when you have that moment when you have extra time to play songs, does it ever like? Do you ever have like a moment where you have to figure out what songs you want to play, like what songs are suited for the venue or the event or anything like that, or
Well, we
like you ever want to try like new, like you ever think like, oh well, there's a song that we've practiced that we want to try right now or anything like that, or are you sticking to your most known music?
Well, most of it's going to be stuff that you've heard on Alien X, actually. I think we're only really doing a few of them that haven't been played on there.
2, really.
D-Unit.
Hi, everybody.
Our bass player is joining us.
What's going on? I'm sorry. I had to go man the merch booth until the merch booth person got there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, actually,
He is way more hotter
So we're
than
going to
I
be
am.
up to the neck in older songs tonight then.
Oh, yeah.
I know, we will definitely be busting that one out.
That is that song is number 1 right now.
Do you
If I
guys
remember
like
correctly.
that one? That's one of my favorites. That's off that album. That's one of my favorites.
I'll say too. This is probably your set will be the first show that I've seen since Alice Cooper in 1989, where I will know every song.
You're not going to know every song, though.
Well, pretty much almost every song.
I know
How
there's
about
going to
that?
be
technical
2 at least that you don't know.
Oh,
Can we name them? I mean,
I don't see why not.
I mean, just so you can pay attention to them. Maybe we can give you guys a type of hint when the new ones are coming out. But I think,
one of them he might have heard from the internet version that we did. Remember when we were testing out your bass? Did you guys see the video of him testing his bass out?
No, I don't think I did.
Okay, well then.
Oh yeah, Dead in the Water.
Dead in the Water is one of the new ones we're going to be playing tonight. That Donnie actually wrote the music for that one, and basically Donnie and DJ basically wrote that one, and then I just threw some lyrics in it.
Dead in the Water sounds better than like Bloated and Floating.
Yeah. Although that does have
smelling like a roller.
That does have a ring to it.
Right.
A really cool one, and I highly recommend paying attention to this one is called Under the Blade.
Ooh.
And
that's going to be our closer on the new album.
It's going to be our closer on the new album,
That
like he
sounds
just
cool.
said. But it's picture like an Unforgiven type song, but in Rob's mind. And you guys obviously know Rob's mind from all the music. And stuff
Yeah,
like that
I
you guys
get that.
play.
I get that.
There's tentacles.
It's actually probably by far to date my favorite song that he's written, and it's my favorite song to play and perform. It's awesome.
So you
It's
just learned
first time I've
something
heard
about
that.
him, didn't you?
What's
I
that?
just found that out.
You just learned something about him that you didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was his favorite.
That's what we do here on the radio. We do crazy stuff like that.
it's just a really powerful song. It takes you places. So
We were doing this long before you came in, sir.
Oh, honey, what a wonderful surprise. A dozen roses and chocolates, a candlelit dinner, and now champagne and strawberries by the fire. You're so romantic.
What do you say we get a little closer?
Igor? That's right, Igor here with the final ingredient for love.
Igor's lube?
Nothing gets things moving and grooving like my lube, and it prevents chafing.
Thanks, Igor.
And don't forget, Igor's lube now comes in cherry, mint, and salmon flavor.
Igor's Lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow.
Oh my God. What have I done? What have I done? Look at the turning wheel.
The Alignment, the latest CD from the Creeping King. Chaos featuring Dead in the Water. Beg for mercy and Under the Blade. Available now at iTunes, CD Baby, and Rock of Ages in Garden City.
When you need the absolute fastest high-speed internet for your home or business but need to stay on your budget, then you need to give AlienCast a try. AlienCast high-speed fiber optic dial-up features ultra-fast dial-up speeds for way less than that fancy schmancy DSL or cable internet. Plus, AlienCast has all the great features you've come to expect from dial-up service, such as plugging your landline into your computer, installing an archaic phone modem card, and not having to mess with all that Wi-Fi nonsense, all for a fraction of the cost of internet that's way too fast for most people anyway. Call 188-GO-ALIEN to get AlienCast high-speed dial-up in your home today. AlienCast. Out of this world internet, down to earth prices.
Are you looking for a way to get your message out there? Have you been looking for just the right way to advertise your business, website, or upcoming event? Have you thought about advertising on the radio but thought it would be too expensive? Well, you should try advertising on Alien X Radio. We have advertising packages for every budget starting as low as $30 per month. That's right, radio advertising for as little as $1 a day. You don't have a commercial? No problem. Our copywriting and production department can create a radio spot complete with voiceovers, sound effects, and music that's just right for your needs. And unlike other stations, the production is included. So what are you waiting for? Just visit www.alienxradio.com and click on the advertisers link to get a look at our packages and rates. Then contact us at advertising@alienxradio.com. That's advertising@alienxradio.com.
This is the peak hour for stoned teenagers. Broadcasting directly into your brain. The gravitational plates are gravitating, the inertia canceller is canceling, and the deflector array is deflecting.
Excuse me?
You have been beamed aboard, and you are now inside the mothership with Alien Stone.
All right, folks, so welcome back. You are inside the mothership. We are screaming through the galaxy at twice redunculous speeds. Do not worry. The gravitational plates are gravitating. The inertia canceller is canceling, and the deflector array is just going out in groups anyway, despite the fact that we were told social distancing is required. Sorry. It's all deflecting. Anyway, as I said, we're screaming along at twice redunculous speeds. We are now in the second half of hour number 1 of our lockdown episode. My co-host D-Unit stuck at his house. Why? Because travel between his house and my house has been deemed unsafe and unhealthy. And pretty much at this point, where I have been the person saying you're overreacting, I've been the person saying you're ridiculous, I've been the person saying it's all a hoax, and now I'm the person saying I was wrong, and now it's time to go ahead and shut everything down, and I'll be happy to stay at home for a month if you need me to. It's literally to that point. It's really to that point. 313-444-8919. Again, that's 313-444-8919. Or Skype at Alienstone, the number 1, Alienstone1, all one word. Give me a call. As I said, not much going on today except for some interviews from the past. I'm going to be pulling up music for the Vajir holes and your calls and your comments, whatever it is that you want to talk about, whatever you want to do. So music for your Vajir holes right now. I'll be coming back with an interview that I did a few years back. You may remember, for all of you out there that are Walking Dead fans, and when I say a Walking Dead fan, I mean you had to have been watching The Walking Dead from the beginning to be this kind of fan. Early in the seasons, there was a character by the name of T-Dog. T-Dog got a chunk of his arm taken out when they got to the prison. Remember the prison before the governor? That was way back when, right? Well, Irony Singleton was the gentleman who played the part. of T-Dog, and I had a chance to sit down and talk with him, and we'll bring that interview to you right after this musical break here on Inside the Mothership. Go nowhere.
It's now time for the weekly featured interview on Alien X Radio.
Right now, I am joined by my guest. He's an actor from the Oscar-nominated film The Blind Side. You also may see him in Lottery Ticket, Seeking Justice, and An Amish Murder, but he also played T-Dog on AMC's The Walking Dead, and now he's written a book about his journey. Actor Irony Singleton. Sir, how are you doing today?
Hello, good evening. It's a pleasure being on. Thank you for having me. Wonderful.
Awesome. Because we had a little bit of confusion there about when we were going to be recording the interview, and I'm kind of glad that it worked out that we get to do it live today instead of pre-recorded yesterday. That's kind of cool.
You know, that's what I'm talking about, divine intervention.
Yeah. Cutting in and out just a little bit there. Let me see if I can adjust something here. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it. I mean, you're one of those stories where you came from an environment that most people, that environment would eat them alive, and you managed to keep your nose clean, keep your eye on the prize, and make your way out and get what you wanted. I mean, tell us a little bit about what the average day would have been like when you wake up and get ready for school.
Yeah, it ate me alive. I'm just glad I didn't die in the process. But no, a typical day. So you're so right about that, brother. But a typical day, waking up to school was like a regular life for me at the time. So I thought, because that's all I knew. Just waking up and maybe perhaps before going to bed that night, dealing if my mom had been drinking or something like that, dealing with a little bit of verbal lashing, a little, physical abuse or something like that, maybe some slaps and scratches or what have you. And so I may end up staying up to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and then getting up at 7 o'clock, finding some clothes to put on certain occasions when she was okay, like my mom was okay with washing at times or whatever, but then there were times where if I didn't have something clean, I would just kind of grab something out of the closet. I had a brother, and if I didn't have clean underwear, I may grab some underwear that he just threw in there maybe days prior to or something like that. I ended up going to school and studying and passing my spelling test and getting my 2 suckers. This is first grade, so I could go all the way back to daycare or something, but this is first grade when I was, pretty decent reader, great speller, and we'd have to read like a story, 2 stories a day, to where if we read both stories without messing up a word or something like that, we get a lollipop. And this was every Friday, rather. So I would always get my lollipops, and my classmates, they would ask me for a lollipop in advance because they knew I was going to, read, get my reading done correctly or what have you. And I'd go home and didn't really do much homework because I did that at school. But we didn't have much, homework anyways, because I don't think the teachers really expected us to do too much homework. And I was a homebody, so I wanted to stay by her side pretty much seemed like all the time. And she kind of forced me out of the house, out of the apartment. She said, well, you're going to get out of here. You need to go to the gym and play some sports or something like that. So I got into it at 10 years old and ended up playing it all the way through college, where I played football for UGA, the University of Georgia. Go Dogs, sick 'em. And that was one of my saving graces there. It got me through because that was the thing that made me want to go to, one of the big things that made me want to go to school every day. And I was like, my love for football. Unfortunately, my brother had a love for basketball, all sports. He was a better athlete than I was. But he dropped out 10th grade. I guess the money was a lot better that he was making selling drugs was a lot better than sports for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about, how it's an environment where it would eat most people alive. It would make them do things that maybe you shouldn't do, and that you managed to keep your eye on the prize and stay out of that.
Yeah, I at 8, 9, when I was really young, Alien Stone, I would and I know it started when I first went to my paternal grandmother's apartment, paternal aunt, my father's sister. So that was one of the best thing that my father could have done for me was to introduce me to them. And when I went over there, it was kind of like the Beverly Hills of Atlanta. It was on the outskirts of Atlanta, and I saw a different world. The grass stayed cut, and it was the air was fresh. And people didn't argue and fight and cuss and shoot at each other and stab each other, which was total contrast from what I had seen coming up. I saw a lot of fighting and blood, and you know, I lived right in front of a city dump. And, you know, dogs and cats, it would be nothing to see a dead dog or cat just laying dead on the street for days at a time. So there was a total contrast, and it told me that, wow, it made me want more out of life. And I said, well, what do I have to do to get this life right here? And it made me more ambitious, and I think it brought my perspective of the world. So I think I started working towards that around that time.
Yeah, I guess if you're in one environment that you think that's pretty much how everything is, and then when you finally see the other side, you know, then wow, you know, that's something to work for. It's good that you saw that early enough and knew that that's what you wanted, rather than just try to make do with what you had and maybe going to the dark side.
Yeah. Well, you know something, I crept into the dark side, and a lot of people didn't know that I was selling drugs. A lot of people didn't know that, you know, I was carrying the pistol and had come so close to shooting and possibly killing somebody and throwing my whole life away. So because I had become a product of my environment. You know, you're around it so much, it's like it's just only normal for you to start emulating what you see. What else are you going to do? It's like I can't, you know, I didn't see any doctors or lawyers or dentists. I saw a lot of, although I saw some, not many hardworking men that went to work every, like my grandfather. He went to work every day, and you know, he worked at the textile plant, and I saw him do that every day for several years. So he was a major factor in my life, and of course, my uncle was a major factor in my life. But he taught me how to survive. Now, he ran the streets, and he had a similar life, but 10 times worse than I had it coming up, and so he understood what I was going through on the streets. He taught me how to survive, but he always instilled a word of positivity wherever he could, and that played a major role in inspiring me as well. But I did live that life, Alien Stone. Now, but the big difference was, like I said, I was taken out of that environment. I think that's one of the major differences. If you take a child out of a bad environment and you show them something else, it'll affect them for a lifetime, because they just don't know any better. It's like this what I've been exposed to my whole life. This is what I'm supposed to do. But when you take them out of that environment, it changes everything.
I totally agree. Like I said, you have to see a contrast to know that there's a contrast, to know that there's something else out there, that there's something better, there's a better life.
That's the big thing. That's why you know, I started my nonprofit group. It's called, you know, Irony Singleton Presents Young Voices United, and it's a program to nonprofit program to not just help kids become better actors, whatever, or better artists, but it's also to teach them, to expose them to different things, and to teach them to become better citizens or contributing citizens in our society. And we do that by taking them out of that environment, and even if it's just a few hours at a time, few hours a week, it's beneficial. It's a lot better than nothing. I think that one or few hours a week is enough to change them for a lifetime and make them want to do better in life and make them do better and accomplish things in life.
Yeah, it's that spark. You know, you got to have that spark first. You know, that makes them want something more.
Yeah. Oh my God. So you can relate to this. Where did you grow up? I'm curious. You sound like you came from that type of background.
No, actually, well, I grew up in the suburbs of Detroit, but you know, I didn't really have any of that trouble really where I was at. I mean, I lived in a pretty clean neighborhood, that kind of thing. But I understand that you do as what you grew up seeing. You know, that is what molds you. The people around you, the things that you do, the things that are happening around you is what makes you the product of what you become later on. I mean, it's a fact.
I hear you. No, it's great. It's great you have that understanding. That's the reason why, and I think that, you know, one of the reasons I was spared is because to serve as that bridge, in a sense, to serve as that voice, to speak for those that can't speak for themselves, and to, you know, kind of relay that, like what you just said. Like, you know, if they don't know any better, you know, they can't do better. But see, then once you know better, you can do better. And I think it was part of my job to kind of serve as that bridge to relay that message. It's like, for us to go back, especially for me coming from that environment, if I don't go back and do what I can to help the situation, who should feel obligated to do it? No one. It's like I'm from that environment. Now God has placed me in a better situation. How can I not go back and be, of service to my environment, where I grew up, rather. So, but yeah, you're dead on. You're dead on.
Yeah, hey, it's a fact. I mean, there's no way around that. I mean, you can't. Yeah, you don't see anybody that's grown up in mansions and stuff that is trying to sell. Well, I mean, you might, but that's rebelling or something like that. But they're not out trying to sell drugs to make money. They've got money. Or if they're in a loving family, they're not out there trying to get exception from anybody because they've already got that.
Man, I feel like I just want to listen to your philosophy. I'm moved and I've got chills going up and down my spine just listening to you. So this is what it's all about, though, which is what inspired me to write the book Blind Side of the Walking Dead. I said I have to be of service. When my mom died, she died when I was 18, and I said I gotta make this life count. For one, I gotta make her life count because she was an alcoholic and she was a crack addict, and she contracted HIV. And I'm thinking through her, her heroin use, the use of IV drug needles. And when she died, I was like, wow, I said, man, there's got to be more. I know she didn't just come to this earth to be a crack addict and an alcoholic. So I set out on this journey to prove that her life meant something. And my way of doing that was to become something myself. So it actually encouraged me. It's like everything happens for a reason. So I had to get the positive out of her death. I was like, okay, there's no need of me sitting around dwelling on this negative because what is that accomplishing? Then I'll just live in misery. That's the worst kind of feeling right there. It's like if I'm going to live this life, I might as well live it pursuing the dream, doing something. I had to prove to myself that my mother's life meant something. And I said, if I make something of my life, being a product of my mom, being her son, that says that my mother's life was worth something. So that was the journey I set out on. And I said, I'm not going to stop until I accomplish that goal. So her life did mean something. Kat's son became somebody, and it's because Kat had me,
Hey, she didn't become somebody. You revealed that she was somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I revealed that she was somebody because everybody is somebody.
That's
you
right.
are so right about that. Everybody is somebody. It just takes that, that key occurrence or whatever in life to reveal it to other people, right. and that's what it did for me. So it validated that fact. You are so right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, coming from that, a lot of people that are able to do what you've done, and as I said, keep your eye on the prize, keep your nose clean. Well, for the most part.
Yeah.
But most of them, they can achieve, being, living the clean life, a moderate life, or whatever. But some people can pull their way out and then even go further. Like you got into films, and tell me a little bit how you got your role in The Blind Side.
Man, that's totally ironic too. Just being that's the role that the movie that opened the door for me, because it's ironic because I ended up playing the character that I could have very easily become in real life.
For sure.
That character, like I said, I ran the streets. I sold drugs. I toted a pistol, and I was just fortunate enough to never have to use that gun on anybody. And and I made it out of there. But that was the first one. That was a role that it started it all for me. And I think at age 11, my aunt, my paternal aunt, she put me into what was called a bounty program, and it focused on the arts for the children. And I was in this program with kids that were from affluent homes. And they were well off, and I ended up and kids from different backgrounds, and mostly white kids at this school. And I had a certain perception that the white kids were smarter than I was, and and they were rich and they had what they wanted. Wow. And we started doing Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. And like I said, you remember first grade? I said I was a decent reader, and I started reading, and I was as good as these other kids, if not better than some. And I was like, man, whoa. So it took my confidence through the roof. And I was like, so I can do this too. And I think that was the spark that gave me that confidence that I could do it, and it made me want to, I guess, be on the big stage, be on the stage, be on TV. And I watched a lot of TV coming up. Oh my God, anything from the '90s, you could probably name it, and I watched it. Wasn't too big of a fan of Dynasty for some reason. I don't know why, and I think because maybe I just seriously could not relate to that world, that life.
Right, exactly. Me too.
What'd you say?
Me too. I couldn't relate to that.
I was like, they're too rich for me. I know some people, they were wealthy on TV, but they were just extremely rich, and I was like, I don't understand that world at all. But anyways, so I watched a lot of TV, and it took me out of my physical environment. It took me away from there, and I was able to dream even more. And so when I was 16 or 17, my English teacher, she entered me into an oratorical contest. It was called the I Have a Dream contest, based on Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. And I came in second place. And now in my speech, I wrote, my dream is to become an acclaimed actor on the big screen so that I can be recognized by millions of people, so that it can serve as a platform for me to inspire others. This is what I said then. My teacher came to me and said, well, you might want to change that, because I don't know if the judges are going to be able to relate to it. Kind of like me and watching Dynasty or something, because it was far-fetched given a little kid from the projects wanting to become an actor. How often does something like that happen? That doesn't happen often. So she kind of encouraged me to change that. And I changed it from being an actor to being a dentist, because the only thing I had in mind, other than the typical, when you're a kid, you want to be, everybody wants to be a cop, everybody wants to be a firefighter or something like that. And the only thing I knew outside of those two professions was dentistry, because in one of the two encounters I had with my father, he took me into a store when I was going to a family reunion with him on his side of the family, and he bought me a toothbrush, and he told me to always brush my teeth and take care of my teeth. And that had a major impact on me. So the only thing I could think of 10 years later, after that encounter, or 10 plus years later, was I want to be a dentist. So that's what I wrote. I wrote that instead of being an actor. But in the back of my mind, Alien Stone, I said, no, I want to be an actor. I just have to appease my teacher. So I'm going to put down something that'll make her happy. And I put that down, and I entered into the oratorical contest and got second place. And after that, I ended up in college and went to the Kentucky State University for a year and transferred to the University of Georgia, where I formally started to study acting. And the rest is history. I completed my degree there, dual major, theater and speech communications. Once I graduated, I pursued my acting career for almost 10 years, about 10 years in Atlanta, Georgia, before I got an opportunity. So I have been acting maybe 15 years before I landed The Blind Side.
Oh yeah, it's by no means something that somebody goes, hey, I'm going to be an actor, and then the next week they're on television. I mean, come on.
Right. Because I please, and Detroit, and if you're broadcasting to the rest of the world too, I think through by internet or whatever. But
yep.
Don't get the impression you have a dream. Stay with that dream. Don't give up on it after a week, after a year, after 5 years, after 10 years. If it's something that you love to do, hey, make your mind up that you're going to pursue it forever. Even if it hadn't happened for me after 15 years, Alien Stone, I would have done it for 50 years, because that was my passion, that was my love. There's an expression that floats around out there that says that if you do what you love to do, you will never work a day in your life.
That's correct.
I've worked days in my life. Before I got my opportunity, I did some other jobs, and that was work for me. This right here, what I'm doing now, acting, I love to do this. So since The Blind Side, I haven't worked a day in my life, So always just never give up, never quit, continue to do what you love to do, and eventually it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off.
And obviously it has, because you did get the call, and tell me about that, how that went when you got offered the role of T-Dog on The Walking Dead.
Oh man, I was working on a project in North Carolina, and And I was just about to shoot my scene, and my phone rang. And I answered my phone, and my agent said I got the part. But I'll backtrack, though. When he first called me, and he asked me if I was interested in being in a zombie TV show, I was like, a zombie? It was like a zombie show. I said, not too interested in that, because as a kid, my mom would take me and my brother to see Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and all those scary movies. So that it really traumatized me. I would have to turn off the light and just run and jump in the bed or something like that. It was horrifying. So I had no interest in doing any horror or anything like that. And he told me that Frank Darabont, my agent that is, he told me that Frank Darabont and Gail Ann Hurd were the producers. And, they're living legends. Frank Darabont with Shawshank Redemption and, The Green Mile and Gail Ann Hurd with her mega hits, The Hulk, Armageddon, Aliens.
And it's a shame they haven't done anything big.
Right. No, just a few, little stuff like that. But no, so, these are living legends, and he tells me that they are, producing this project. I said, wait a minute. I said, let me see the sides. Let me see the audition piece. Let me see what it's about. And so, I saw that the character was T-Dog. And T-Dog suggested to me that he is like a hip-hop type character, like T-Dog, like he's from the streets or something like that. And I was, just a year off of my role in The Blind Side. So I figured that's what they kind of wanted to see, because that's what opened the door for me. They wanted that type of character, but not so street. But so I presented the character that way, and Frank Darabont got a look at it, my audition, and he was like, "No," he said, "No, that's too street for me. Just play it straight. He doesn't have to do any of that." He told my agent. My agent told me, I delivered it that way, and when I was in North Carolina, maybe a day or days later or something like that, and I was shooting. And he called me. He said, "Well, you got the part of T-Dog." He said, "They want you." Check this out, though. Check this out, Alien Star. He said, "They want you for 2, maybe 3 episodes." He said, "That's it, 2, maybe 3." I said, "Man, that's great, because that would have been the longest that I'd ever been on any set. 2 to 3 episodes." I was like, "Man, okay, I'm still working." I had just finished Franklin and Bash or One Tree Hill or something like that. I said, "Man, I'm just constantly working, though." I had just been working nonstop. It seemed like I was like one of the hottest working actors in Atlanta at the time. And he said 2 to 3 episodes. I was ecstatic. So I started, I got on the set, and we shot the first couple of episodes, and then I was like, okay, are they going to give me that 3rd episode? We'll see. And I didn't die in episode 2. I said, okay. So they gave me the script for episode 3, and I was like, okay, all right, this is when it's going to happen. I got the script. I started reading. I said, all right, where do I die? When is it coming? And I didn't die. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So I went all the way until episode 6. I think that was the last episode of the first season. And I've started from the back. I started reading from the back, Alien Stuff, and I was like, right, just to see if I survived. And I realized I survived that. I was like, no. And my wife and I were both ecstatic then at that time. I was like, what, you're going into season 2? And, of course, the rest is history. I went into season 3. So it was a splendid, splendid ride. I'm very grateful for the time I had on the set. Made so many friends, and it was just great. It's great.
I got to tell you, I have always, ever since I can remember, been a zombie fan. I actually have in my possession probably 200 different zombie movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ain't that many movies? Zombie movies?
Oh, dude, there's probably 2,000. I wrote, directed, and produced 2 independent zombie films of my own. That's how much I am into zombies. So when this series started, I was glued to that chair every single Sunday night to make sure I got the episodes. And I'm telling you what, the episode when they finally took you down, bro, I was standing up. No! What? Are you kidding me? Why? Oh, man.
Oh, my God. No, I appreciate that. And you know something? What really has blown my mind is that it seemed like so many people were up in arms when T-Dog died. And it was unbelievable to me, because like I started getting Twitter fans just out the wazoo. I was like, whoa, people really love T-Dog. Like people really gravitated to this character, and that's a godsend. We talked about divine intervention earlier, and I think that's all that was. I go back to when my mother died, because that was a pivotal moment in my life, and at that time I said everything I do.
You still there?
Steeped in truth and love. And I said, I want to respect everybody I see and love everybody I see, have love in my heart. That was my way of making my mother's life count too, and my life. I said, if I do that, that's all God wants me to do. That's all God wants all of us to do. If we do that, everything else will fall into place, like career, family, all that stuff just seems to just happen because, okay, what I want to do is please God. How do I please God? Well, I love my fellow man and my fellow woman, and I respect them, and I don't gossip about them or talk about them. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't hurt any of them, and everything else just seemed to just kind of fall into place, And I think that was God's way of saying, I'm satisfied with the job that you are doing, and keep it up. The fact that the fans started to gravitate towards T-Dog and like, oh, we love T-Dog. And like you said, when T-Dog died, you went crazy just about. It's confirmation that what I'm doing right now, I have to continue to do it. Continue to love everybody. Continue to have truth and love in my heart, and I'm fine. And I can look at myself in the mirror and smile. There were so many times, like years, where I couldn't look at myself in the mirror, Alien Stone. I look at myself and I was ashamed. I was ashamed to have, like my wife and my kids, being 2 months into my marriage, knowing that my wife and I, we go back to 9th grade, knowing that all those years I was unfaithful, throughout, and I'd break up with her at times. We'd break up just so I could mess around with another girl or something like that. And then we get back together, and then we break up again, we get back together. But it was because of me. I was sabotaging the relationship. I had a lot of guilt I was dealing with. I had a lot of guilt in my heart, and I just didn't want I didn't want that. I couldn't look at my wife, this woman who had been faithful and loyal to me for so long, and here I am treating her like this and doing this. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. And because I was on the transition, that's what was going on. When my mom died, it's not like I just instantly stopped cheating or instantly stopped, maybe doing bad things or whatever. It was like a journey I had been on. It was like I switched paths, and that's when my major transformation began to take shape. So, but yeah, I think that's what that was when the fans went crazy for T-Dog. It was God's way of saying, just keep doing what you're doing because you're working for me, and this is my way of rewarding you.
Yes. That was one of my best interviews, actually. That was Irony Singleton, a.k.a. T-Dog from The Walking Dead. Norm Thomas, hanging out in the chat room of Facebook, has informed me that while listening to the interview with Irony Singleton, a.k.a. T-Dog of The Walking Dead, he is, in fact, in possession, in reality, of a T-Dog action figure. Yes. Norm, show me on the doll where the zombies offended him. 313-444-8919. Again, that's 313-444-8919 or Skype at AlienStone1. Again, folks, if there's a lot of crackling and stuff going on the Facebook feed or on the YouTube feed, I don't understand what's going on with that. However, if you go over to alienxradio.com and click on the link there for the audio feed there's nothing wrong with that. So if you want to get a really good clean sound and listen to the show, alienxradio.com, or go to the listening page of any of these fantastic stations that we are on live, like Alien X Radio, Raw Talk Online, UG Media, WCET FM, I'm losing it here, the Paranormal Junkyard Radio Network, and Lime City Radio. If I missed any, I do apologize. Oh, and the phone is ringing. You are inside the mothership. Who's this?
Oh, this is Norm. Waiting for the mother to pull me into the ship. Thank you, God.
You have been beamed aboard. We threw the tractor beam around your nads and drug you in.
You could have just brought me in that way. That would have been a lot easier. Hey, how's everything going? That was an amazing interview. T-Dog is awesome. It was weird listening and watching him whilst having a toy of him sitting next to me.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
That was pretty cool, man. Yeah, maybe next week I'll play the other interview that I did with Michael Rooker, a.k.a. Merle. That was pretty good.
A.k.a. so many amazing characters.
Oh, for sure.
All time. He's a great actor.
Absolutely.
And he knows how to act. And he's scary. I don't want to ever meet him in an alleyway when he's mad.
No, yeah. It's funny because I've seen him play a part where he's like, "Hi, I'm your buddy, I'm your friend," but that's not the normal. No, he's usually
not him.
Yeah,
we all know. We're like looking at him like, no.
He's the only guy I know that can whistle you to death, and take you out. You know what I'm
saying? Yep.
So what?
Man, I've been sitting here locked up, writing all of my jokes. We tried to get some people together to do what we're calling stand up or shut up. And it's all about doing comedy at home, even though you don't have anybody like laughing with you, which kind of makes it hard. We're trying to get this together. We've got a couple of people together. It's going well. We're starting to get a little traction. I started noticing my YouTube channel is starting to get a lot of views, but we want to try to get everyone to just, we're staying home. We need something. We need comedy. We need podcasts. We need stuff like this. So
absolutely.
Thank you for continuing what you're doing. And I'm doing what I'm doing. I've already put out 4 or 5 or 3 or 4 of my videos. I'm getting ready to put out another one. I'm writing every day. And then by the end of this, I think a lot of comedians are going to have amazing set lists because we've edited them all down to what was funny,
That's right. You had a chance to try them all out and see what worked and adapt them and work them into your routine.
Absolutely.
And then you'll give everybody a chance to calm down afterwards, and then they can look back and laugh at it, and then you'll be able to punch them right in the face with it. Punch line them in the face with it.
Exactly. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Sweet.
That's what I want. Because we need to stay home. We need to clean our hands. We need to clean our asses.
That's right.
Our butts. Sorry.
That's right.
Clean our butts. And just, not touch anyone. Be 6 feet from everyone. Do these things that they're saying are so simple. Do them. Why can't we do them?
Right. You got the internet. You got the internet. You can sit at home for a little bit. Like Kent is. He's at home right now. And he's just tuning in, watching on Facebook over here, and he just now got, oh my God, they caught me. Yeah, that's right. I can see you.
Right.
But what else are you going to do, right? You've already watched everything on Netflix. You've already binge-watched the shows that you've missed. You've already called everybody you know, but you can't go visit them. So what else is there to do except jump on the internet here and surf around and find a show and call in and whatever.
But how fun is 2021 going to be? We're going to have every movie, every TV show, everything we want. and it's going to be the best movie in the world. It's going to be the best time ever, other than the year I got divorced. But it's going to be the best time ever, right?
That's right. It's like scheduled to be released 3 years ago, coming out brand new this year. All the actors are half dead. You know, there were old people in them. They're gone now. People are out of the business. But we're getting it as a brand new movie now. But yeah, I see what you're saying. They're all going to bottleneck. You know what I'm saying? They're going to bottleneck. And that summer is going to be like the summer of the movies. Huge. Huge.
They're going to replace people, and you're going to be able to tell that they're replaced. It's not even going to be funny.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos already where I was watching it. I'm like, wait a minute. This person's dead, isn't he? And I'm like, when was this filmed? And I'm watching, I'm like, that's digital? I'm like, oh my God, yeah, they actually shot a thing and put someone else's face on it, and it looked so real that it had me going for quite a long time. So I don't believe videos anymore.
That's scary. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Eventually, we're not going to need actors anymore. There's going to be like Brad Pitt and Tom Hanks forever.
Right. But could you imagine, though, like you could do a movie where all of the actors are like superstars that are gone, like John Candy and Belushi, and all these people would be in the movie?
Dude, Chris Farley is going to be starring in a movie next year. He's going to be in Grown Ups 3.
The only problem is, though, you would have to, whoever's programming and playing the body part or whatever would have to be able to be convincing enough to pull off.
Oh, Chris Farley's brother does it. Have you seen him live?
Oh, well,
he does the best Chris Farley ever.
Well, there you go then.
So they got that covered, man.
That's right. So next year, Chris Farley's
I've been
brother
doing all
is
these
Chris
videos
Farley.
Trying to have some fun, trying to I'll send this video to my girlfriend's mom. She'll laugh about it, even though it'll be a little awkward because I cuss a lot and I talk about my dick a little bit. But I'm trying to do all these fun things. And then I made this baby joke that apparently people are not happy with.
Ooh.
And it was that I have the dick like a baby. It's 17 inches and 23 pounds. And people don't like that joke. But I think that that's funny. And I want to use it in my comedy, but I can't figure out whether or not everyone don't like it or someone don't like it. I don't know.
I don't know. I think maybe it's the people that have a problem with it. Maybe it's the delivery of it. Because I get it. I laughed. But if you said it too slow, it sounds wrong for a minute until then you're like, oh, okay. I don't know.
Oh, is that what it is? I need to speed up the joke?
Maybe
is that what it is?
Maybe. I don't know. Try it. See what happens.
Maybe. We'll do that. Maybe I'll try that next time. But yeah, dude, I'm literally sitting in front of my couch with papers and papers of jokes. I've already posted on my Facebook, No Not Norm Stichalski, which is my Facebook page, selfless, promoting myself, whatever. But I'm sitting here looking at all these. I got tons of papers. I've already posted 3, I think 3 at this point, maybe 4 sets of jokes. And they've all been more than 5 minutes. So I know I need to narrow them down.
Oh, yeah. When you first start out there, they give you 2 minutes to 5 minutes for the whole thing.
Well, yeah. Well, I want to go to a place a little north of us called Trixie, and they start at 4 minutes.
Wow.
So I want to get it ready for Trixie. But this is what I want to start doing for a living. And I know it's going to be a pain in the ass, but my girlfriend's been really cool with it. And I can't say anything more than how cool she has been with me deciding that my job laid me off and I want to become a comic, because that sounds ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous? Other people have done it.
I know, but we don't live in New York or L.A. We live in lower Metro Detroit.
Well, we'll see what happens. Real quick, tell everybody again where they can see your videos and give you feedback on this, and then maybe I'm sure that's also where you're gonna be posting if you're gonna be doing some shows and stuff, right?
The videos are listed under Not Norm Detroit, but you can look under Norm Stichalski. You can look under all the. I'll send you all the stuff because I wasn't sure what I wanted to call them, so they were all kind of called different things, and so I finally figured out what I wanted to call them. But that's what they're going to be called. So I'll send it to you. We can post it together. So I appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah.
So everybody know. You love Norm,
Appreciate
everybody.
it, man.
Hey, man, I know you've been waiting to call in for a little bit, too, man. We're going to have to set up a segment sometime for you to call in, and we'll do some other stuff, man. Maybe then you can work in some of your comedy routines and stuff.
Dude, thank you. I'd love to have a whole time to do everything, but I'd like to, pick it out. Right now, I'm just posting, picking, and choosing, and it's like chicken bones right now. So, all right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Be good. Be safe. I wish we were still in Florida, man. Those were the days.
Yes, those were the days. All right, I'm going to leave you with listen to some of my comedy. This is a little segment that I wrote. It's called Just a Few Questions, and this is the quarantined edition. And check it out. You are listening live to Inside the Mothership. Thanks, Norm.
And now it's time to answer just a few questions.
All right, everybody, it is time to answer just a few questions, the quarantine edition. We have D-Unit, Mad Martin, KP Ross, and myself. The Alien X lines are open 313-444-8919. I don't know how many more people I can add to that line, though. But let's go ahead, since we're all quarantined, and ask some very appropriate questions for the times we're living in today. Are you ready?
Go, bring it.
All right, here we go. The year is 2025. The entire planet has been engulfed in a state of panic and fear ever since the latest designered virus caused by pandemic just 2 years earlier. The Miley Cyrus virus came in like a wrecking ball. People have been showing symptoms of the infection, like random uncontrollable twerking and public masturbation. It's been reported all over the U.S. states. The U.S. governors were removed from office. They have already been removed from office and being replaced. They've been placed in a loony bin after their overreaction to the coronavirus pandemic of 2020, replacing them with toasters and small farm animals. So no help there. The only option is to self-quarantine. You must get as far away from the virus and the infected as you can. But you can't be all alone in this. Who will you take with you to be quarantined with? Name 4 of your friends and family members to get locked in with for the next 3 months. Now, this was planned for just D, but now we've got 3 of you, so really we can only add probably 1 for each of you. So who are you going to bring along with you, KP Ross?
I'm definitely bringing my wife.
Wife, yeah. Good answer. That way you don't get grounded.
Well, with him bringing his wife, I'm definitely not going to bring my wife because I'm going to look at this quarantine.
You're grounded, dude. You can't run away.
Okay.
Okay.
So, who am I going to bring with me? You know what? And I hope this doesn't go in a weird direction with you. Who knows? But you know what? I'm going to bring my guitar playing duo partner. I'm going to bring Rob with me.
Rob.
Because I'm going to want to do something.
All right. And Mad Martin, who are you bringing with you?
Oh, now you see, the options are open, isn't it? The options are open.
You see, you need you need you need entertainment. To as much
Choose
as
the form of the
goes.
destroyer. I'm sorry.
It's true. Who will I bring? Who will I bring? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna bring John LeBang.
John LeBang. All right.
Entertainment.
All right. So those are the people that are going now. Who is going to be in charge of finding and protecting what supplies? Now, I'm going to ask each one of you your opinion on this. You don't have to all agree. Okay, so you have to say who is going to be in charge on that group of the following items. So you've got yourselves, KP's wife, Rob, and John LeBang also. So, who will be in charge of the food, KP Ross?
That would be my wife.
D, who will be in charge of the food?
I'm gonna go with me.
All right. And Mad Martin, who will be in charge of the food?
Who will be in charge of the food? Oh, Struth. Is there a note there? Obviously, there's. No.
Dude, I know you guys eat across the pond, man. So
I'm gonna go with D.
Jay LeBang?
No, D. Gonna go with D.
D unit?
Yeah, man.
All right. So, who will be in charge of the water? KP Ross.
Who would be in charge of the water?
Out of those, there's 6 people in the room.
Right. Are you in the room?
No, I'm not in the room.
Well, you suck.
I'm like the dungeon master. I'm the narrator.
Dungeon master.
I'm the narrator. I'm Morgan Freeman.
I'm gonna take myself out of that. I don't want to be in charge of nothing. But
awesome.
This is good. Yeah. Let's put Matt on charge of the water.
Martin. All right. Who's in charge of the water, D?
I'm gonna second that one.
Martin. All right. And Martin, who's in charge of the water?
It's going to be me then, isn't it?
Yep. All right. That's good. Because you're not from Mexico, so we can trust the water.
That's right.
Montezuma. So you're okay.
Not from Flint. Exactly. There we go. That's awesome.
That's right.
You know what? We actually have another call. I just tried to connect to the other call. It's like locking up. Yep. It's not going to happen. So I'm not going to try. I'm not going to risk dropping you guys to try it again. It's not accepting this next call. All right. So who's in charge of the medical supplies?
I'll be in charge of that, I suppose.
KP Ross. Who's in charge of the medical supplies?
I'm not scared of blood.
D unit.
If he's not afraid of blood, I'm down.
KP.
You know?
And Mad Martin, who's in charge of the medical supplies?
It's going to be KP Ross.
KP Ross. Boy, we got a good team going here, man. We're all figuring this out. Okay, real quick. Who's in charge of the
Survivor,
weed?
but different.
Who's in charge of the weed?
Holy shit! You're not in this. D unit.
D unit.
I don't know if that's a good thing, though. To be honest with you,
that's probably the best thing in the world to happen, right there, bro. Okay?
If necessary, he'll rash it, but let's hope it's not.
I will take full responsibility of the herb intake.
Okay, so that's two. That's 2. All right, what do you say, Martin?
Charge
of weed.
We'll stick D on double unit. I don't touch the devil's lettuce.
So, right. You got 3 for D on it. We're almost like perfectly in line here. This is great. All right, so who is in charge? This is the most important one. You ready? Who's in charge of the toilet paper? Remember, you got to protect it too. Who's in charge of the toilet paper? Because that. Remember, we're now on the toilet paper standard.
So Rob hasn't gotten anything yet. So let's put him in charge of that, huh?
Rob gets the TP. All right, he's in charge of the TP. What do you say, D?
You see, I know Rob, man. Rob likes to take some master power jumps sometimes, dude, and sometimes at the inappropriate times. So I'm thinking that he would be the hoarder in toilet paper. So I'm going to go with LeBang on this one.
LeBang. LeBang.
I'm going to go with LeBang on this one.
And Mad Martin.
Yeah, man, I'm going to go with John LeBang. He's look after the TP.
All right, so we're pretty close to all ingredients on this. Pretty close. So, by the way, we're still on question number 1, folks. Where will you?
I know.
Where will you go to get away from the people and the infection? Will it be A, your basement, B, an abandoned bank vault, C, the empty toilet paper section of the local Walmart, or D, a government-mandated lactation room at an office building? And go. Won't be nobody in any of those places.
Oh, is there no wild card with this?
There is a wild card to this portion of this question.
Oh.
There's a wild card answer. Anyone can choose the wild card answer.
I would be afraid to choose the wild card. Can we make up our own answer on this one?
Yeah, you can make up your own answer on this. Where do you think that you could hold up at?
I'm thinking inside the mothership.
The mothership.
Very good. Very good.
I've got a newly remodeled basement with a fully stocked bar, so I'm gonna stick it out in my basement.
In the basement. That's
yes,
A. Okay, and Mad Martin?
I would like to retract my previous answer.
Okay.
And I want to go to his basement.
To his basement. All right. So two of them going over to KP Ross's basement.
First, my bad.
Mad Martin, are you going to get an airplane or a boat or a canoe and come over here and jump into KP Ross's basement as well?
Yeah, I'll jump in KP Ross's basement.
All right, there we go. We're all hanging out in KP's basement. All right. So the wild card answer that none of you chose was...
Yeah.
We would go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all of this to blow over.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Now.
I thought it was going to be something about a Turkish prison.
Right, right.
And that, sir, is the secret word. You hit the secret word every day. Secret word was Turkish prison.
For real?
For real. Bonus question for this is...
Tell him, Dick, what he's want.
The bonus question is, aloe vera added to what liquid creates hand sanitizer?
Eagles Lube.
I didn't even think of that, but I'll take that.
I believe that would be alcohol.
Yeah, that's correct, sir. Alcohol. We're going to get that straight. The bonus question goes to KP Russ because he answered first. But it's just Igor's Lube and alcohol. That could do it, too. But you definitely don't want to put it back in the Igor's Lube bottle because you might use it for Igor's Lube after the alcohol goes in. And that will definitely change date night. I'm just saying.
It would be, that would be one fiery burning penis there, buddy.
That would be a problem, yes. And we are moving on to...
Question number 2.
Question number 2. Question number 2 is, so, you have all gathered your supplies and gear. You have reached your safe house for the next 3 months. You see that the entrances have all been boarded up from the inside, so you and your group scale the wall and onto the roof. After gaining access to the building through the roof, you quickly discover that you are not the only people with this idea. The place already has a group held up inside. At first, both groups tell each other that they have to leave, but come to an understanding that there's plenty of room for everybody to stay while maintaining suggestive safe social distancing practices. Let's get acquainted. Let's get acquainted with your new roommates, shall we? First, hailing from Romania, the Romanian region known as Transylvania, the brain-stealing champion of the world, star of stage, screen, and nightmares, entrepreneur, and personal lube tycoon, Igor!
Yeah.
And second, from the erotic dreams of men and women alike, former football player, actor, entertainer, and aspiring breast model, Terry Crews!
I knew it.
Third, the amazing Master Tool Corporation, Fly By Night Industries, has entrusted who? Me, to show you the handiest and the dandiest kitchen tool you've ever seen. And don't you want to know how it works? It's the Sludge-O-Matic. That's right, folks, legendary comedian Gallagher! Fourth, straight from the coattails of a musical genius and harmfully stabbed into your ears like a broken wine glass, the Beetle Crusher herself, Yoko Ono! And finally, he comes from a long line of world-famous water skiers, star of internet videos and local news fluff stories all over the globe, still super glued to his water skis and conveying a look of terror, I give you Chippy number 5, the water skiing squirrel.
I'm glad there's no owls here.
I had actually thought about Igor having an owl on his shoulder, and his shirt says "We do it better in." I forgot the city all of a sudden. In Cleveland, do it better in Cleveland. So now we've got question number 2 set up. Here we go. Now, with the new group in mind, reassess some of the roles being played here. A, who should never be in charge of the food?
Who should never
be in charge of the food? KP Ross.
Oh.
I should go in different orders. That way, different people get to answer first.
Right.
Let's start different. Mad Martin, you go first. Mad Martin. Who should never be in charge of the food?
Who should never be in? I'm going to say Igor. You don't know where his hands are going to be.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's true, man. He's a slippery guy. D-Unit, who should never be in charge of the food?
The squirrel.
The squirrel?
Yeah, that's where my head's at.
That's true. Well, you're both.
Yeah.
All of you are wrong because it's Gallagher.
Oh.
He would smash all of it with the Sludge-O-Matic.
That little damn squirrel would eat it all.
There.
He can't get to it. He's super glued to his water skis.
This is true. Huh?
Next one would be, who would be in charge of security? Out of that new group, who would be in charge of security? Let's start this time with D-Unit.
Okay, so we got the squirrel, we got Igor, Yoko.
Yep.
What was the other one?
Terry Crews.
And then the other one's taken. So, security.
What?
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. Oh, I got the music stopping here. I can't let that. There we go. All right, so Terry Crews. What do you say?
That's the obvious one, Terry Crews.
Terry Crews. Mad Martin?
Yeah. For $10, I'll go with Terry Crews, please.
The answer is Terry Crews, because just standing in the doorway wearing only a thong while greased up with Igor's lube, pecs jumping would be enough to keep most threats at bay. Plus, the big black guy will keep away all the racists. Wow.
Wow.
And C, that's right. And C, who would be in charge of making sure everything goes smoothly? Let's start with KP Ross.
I believe that would be Igor's lube.
That'd be Igor. Okay, so Bad Martin.
Oh, who make sure everything goes smoothly? Well, yeah, it has to be. Got to be Igor,
smooth.
Yeah. What'd you say there, Bad Martin?
Yeah, it's got to be Igor.
Igor and D-Unit.
I pronounced it Igor.
Go with Igor.
And, of course, the answer is Igor of IgorsLube.com. Look for it like Igor's Lube on Facebook or at www.igorslube.com. Get some today and get some tomorrow. And D, who should you eat first? Start with Mad Martin. Who of those people should we have to eat? We got to eat somebody, right? Who are you going to eat first?
Oh, Christ. See, half of me wants to say Yoko Ono, but half of me doesn't want to know what she tastes like.
That's very good. Very good.
Chippy the squirrel wouldn't go very far, but
Decisions.
Yeah. See, you need Terry Crews because he, apart from entertainment value, is also security. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Eat first, Yoko Ono. Yeah. Collateral damage.
KP Ross.
Exactly. I just don't want to listen to her.
It's not so much listening. She's
not understanding what she's going to say anyway.
That's right.
Talking all the time. If we're out of food and somebody's got to go, she's the first ones to go.
Yeah.
Yoko?
Yeah, and on top of that, she's one ugly woman. You got to get that out of your eye holes.
So we're all in agreement with Yoko Ono?
Oh, absolutely.
While at first instinct it would be to eat Chippy the water skiing squirrel, It would be most beneficial to remove Yoko from the dynamic before she breaks up this group also. And since no one has eaten Chinese food since the great coronavirus panic of 2020, Yoko being Japanese is therefore deemed perfectly okay for human consumption. Besides, Chippy is much more entertaining, and we all need to be entertained.
There you go.
You like that?
Cool.
All right.
There we go.
Bonus question is, if these
Bonus question.
The bonus question is, if these members of the group were holding, or if they were all holding back and hoarding something, what would it be? What do you think Igor would be holding and withholding and not giving to people? KP Ross.
What would he be holding in?
What do you think he would hoard and keep from the rest of the group?
Toilet paper.
Toilet paper for Igor.
Yeah.
D-Unit. What do you think Igor would be hoarding?
I want to say he'd be hoarding his own lube. He's going to want it all for himself, but I'm thinking...
he really likes to give that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, the first time we met him, he was giving you some lube.
I know, but now that the supplies are going to be limited, he might hold on to them.
You never know.
I'm going to go with Kleenex.
Kleenex. That's a good one, because, okay. All right.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait. White tube socks.
White
tube socks.
Wow. That's a visual right there. With blue stripes.
With blue stripes, yep.
I don't know why I saw blue stripes, but... Mad Martin, what is he hoarding over there?
Struth. What will he be holding? Or holding even? What would be the options that he'll be hoarding?
Oh, this is a makeup. You have to come up with an answer for this one.
Yeah,
this one's an essay answer.
Holding the remotes to the TV because he's going to be a swine.
That's good. He just wants to watch Frankenstein over and over again. All right, so the real answer is Igor would be hoarding a large collection of abnormal brains harvested from millennials during the Illuminati's Great Tide Pod experiments of 2018.
He's welcome to them. That's fine.
That's right. Yes, you can have them.
So, what would Terry Crews be hoarding, D-Unit?
Oh, for the love of God. I don't know. Cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers. Okay.
Cheeseburgers.
KB Ross, what is Terry Crews hoarding?
Steroids.
Good answer, but no. Mad Martin.
He's going to be hoarding the Eagles lube so he can lube himself up and look super shiny.
Oh my God, dude, that's almost exactly what I wrote. I said Terry Crews, Igor's lube. He's got to stay slick and shiny.
Way to go there across the pond there, buddy.
Wow, good one,
he gets the extra credit on that test.
Yeah, he dialed right in on that. Beautiful job, man.
Good job out of you.
Ka-ching.
Now, Mad Barton, follow up on this. What would Gallagher be hoarding?
You see, what would Gallagher be hoarding?
He's got to have all of it, man. He's got to have all of it. Nobody else can have any. He's got to have it all. For future, you know what I'm saying? For the future.
Oh, Struth.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Don't know. Sorry, I'm not a blank for this one, I'm afraid.
KB Ross, what is Gallagher hoarding?
Gallagher is hoarding watermelon.
Watermelon?
Yeah.
That's a great answer. D-Unit, what do you say?
You want to know, I was going to jump ahead of Martin and say watermelon. So I'm going with watermelon, too.
Both of you would be absolutely correct. Watermelons. Absolutely. Gallagher's hoarding watermelon.
What else is he going to smash with that big old hammer of his?
That's right. Now, real quick.
Well, I was going to say hammers at first. Okay.
Yeah.
However, if he had the watermelon, he can use Yoko Ono and smash the watermelon.
Smash her melon.
If he didn't have a hammer.
There you go. That'd be good. Hold up your tarp. Don't want to get any Yoko Ono on you.
That's right.
Oh my God, that almost sounds like her and her other name. Yoko Ono on you. Anyway, sorry, that was bad. Anyway, now real quick, the unit, what would you hoard and keep from everybody?
Oh boy.
The weed.
The weed. See, I knew we should have put him in charge of the weed.
Right?
We're all out, sir. You've only had it for 7 minutes, D. Martin, what are you hoarding?
Throne.
Oh, what am I hoarding? Struth.
5, 4.
All the cheesy snacks.
The cheesy snacks. Cheesy poos. So you got all the snacks, man. You got all the cheesy poofs over there. Okay. And what are you hoarding, KP Ross?
I am hoarding ammo.
Ammo.
I am hoarding ammo. It's all mine.
Okay. That's cool.
It's all mine.
That's cool. That means that you just entered the rooms first.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Because I got all the ammo.
Your bunk is closest to the door. Just saying. That's the way we're going to do that. All right.
Right.
Absolutely. That works for me. That's cool. So that brings us all the way up to
question number 3.
Question number 3. Things are really going to get disturbing now, folks.
More disturbing than an Eagles.
Now they're going to get disturbing. That's what's messed up about everything.
Yeah. It's day 29. Just one day left, and you hear a knock on the door. Terry Crews runs over to the door to see who it is. He slips because he's covered in lube, falls, and gets knocked unconscious. Chippy can't run because he's still glued to his skis. Igor nervously lets out a giant post-fried Yoko fart. Even after being killed and eaten, she's still clearing the room and stinking up the place. You decide to open the door. Not only do you see who it is, but to clear the air. Oh, wait. That's right. You open the door not only to see who it is, but also to clear the air because everyone's eyes are now watering from the Yoko fart. A hulking man with a thick beard is asking for a place to stay for the night. The group says no, but you convince them to let the stranger in. You take him to the back room, tell him that you have found a way to kill the virus and make a person immune at the same time. He is eager to get started. You tell him to disrobe and lie face down on a table. You grab a very girthy and lengthy candle. Dipping it in Igor's lube, you ram it deep into his bunghole.
Wow.
He screams in pain as you light the wick. You tell him that he must leave it there burning until it melts down and gets short enough for him to clap his cheeks together and put out the flame.
Dude, what is wrong with you?
No, I know.
He continues to grunt and moan as you leave and lock the door behind you. Why have you done this to this stranger? Is it A, you believe he is infected and you thought you saw something on the news about this and thought that it might help? B, you're just stalling until Terry wakes up from his little floor nap. C, you have 5 candles and only 4 candle holders. Duh! Or D, you recognize the stranger as a former cellmate that tried to rape and murder you during your sentence at a Turkish prison for smuggling. Let's start with you, D unit.
Wow.
I'm going to go with D.
D! It's the Turkish prisoner that tried to rape and murder you in a Turkish prison when you were there for smuggling. KP
Remember
Ross.
that? I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That happened.
That is disturbing.
Yes, isn't it?
This is disturbing.
You know the whole thing, the fact that he can come up with an idea like that is like, seriously, dude, what happened last night? What did you eat before you went to bed? Because I don't ever want to eat it.
Wow. I'm going to have to go with D as well because that's the most outrageous answer.
All right.
Yeah.
Matt Martin, what do you say?
Is there a wild card?
There is a wild card.
Oh, kaboom!
Oh! You want the wild card answer?
No, I'm going to go with wild card answer.
The wild card answer is you have been locked in a room for 29 days. You really have nothing else to do at this point.
Sounds feasible. I'm going to go with that.
Nothing else to do but
handle,
anal rape a stranger with a Igor lubed up candle Wow.
Essentially, yes.
Wow.
But just Matt Martin, he's the only one that chose that. Everybody else recognized him as the Turkish prisoner and is taking out vengeance on someone who tried to rape and murder him. The only person that is just torturing a random stranger is Matt Martin.
Matt Martin, yeah.
Yes. To be clear.
You are a sick man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Are we all happy now that all our friends and family that we brought along with us are just standing in the background, not actually participating in any of this?
I know, like, why do we have to bring somebody?
To scare you at the beginning. And now your bonus question is, quarantine has been lifted and everyone is spilling out into the streets. The businesses are open again and the world is going back to work soon. Now that everything is open and running again, but you have some time before you go back to work, what are you going to do first now that you've just gotten out of 30 days of quarantine? KP Ross.
What am I going to do first?
Everything's open. You can do anything you want. Everything's open.
That is a hard question to answer.
I'm going to take my wife to our favorite Mexican restaurant.
I'm out.
Mexican restaurant?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Not a Chinese restaurant, huh?
Not a Chinese restaurant.
No.
Too soon.
No.
Oh.
Right.
No Chinese restaurant.
Oh, it's too soon.
Matt Martin, what are you going to do?
Well, in light of what I just did in the previous answer, I'm going to open my own dungeon and invite people in there so I can do pretty much the same to everywhere else and have some sort of virus of my own so I can do it all over again.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. He's going to mutate the Miley Cyrus virus. Matt Martin's all like,
I came in like a
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, guess what, folks? It is now time for lightning strikes.
Yes, lightning strikes.
Lightning strikes. I'm going to ask all three of you to answer, and then I'm only going to hit the lightning or the buzzer one time. Cheers or the Winchester?
Winchester.
Oh, Winchester.
Winchester.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's got heavy doors. It's got that fake gun that is actually not fake.
Right.
Alien Stone has had the measles or the chicken pox?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go with chicken pox. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to go with chicken pox, too.
Chicken pox. Chicken pox. Had the sock on my hands and everything, but not the white sock that after Igor had it.
No. It's not white anymore. It's kind of yellowish.
Yeah, it's crispy.
Ooh, the fact that you guys know the color and what it's like is just disturbing.
What is the actual synonym for the word sick? Awesome, amazing, totally rad dude, or diseased? What is
totally rad dude?
What is the actual synonym for the word sick? Awesome, amazing, totally rad dude, or diseased?
Diseased.
Diseased. Very good, man. Very good, man. It's like the old school when people say, hey, man, that's really bad. He goes, I thought that meant good. Only when it is. So, fill in the blank. If life gives you the coronavirus, find someone with blank disease and get drunk.
Lyme.
Lyme disease. Very, very good. Swine flu or bird flu?
What?
Wasn't it the bird flu?
Swine flu or bird flu? Rest of you? The answer is yes. Either one of them. Both are fine choices, sir. Now that comes with 2 sides and a salad. What kind of dressing with that?
Caesar.
Number 6 is fried Yoko Ono. Tastes like chicken or bitch?
Bitch.
Is that chicken or bitch? Yoko Ono.
Oh,
From the freezer to your microwave. Yoko Ono. All right, so the Miley Cyrus virus, created in a military laboratory or the VIP room of a Los Angeles strip club?
Option number B.
Yeah, strip club.
Very good, very good, very good. The viruses and germs are actually so large you can see them with the naked eye.
Wah, wah, wah.
What is more likely to survive a biological extinction event? Cockroaches, alligators, or Keith Richards?
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards.
Very good, very good, very good.
Isn't he like 1,000 years old?
On this life, Keith Richards went to a psychic and said, what was I in the previous life? And they said, Keith Richards.
Right.
What would you rather not watch during your quarantine? Outbreak or The Stand?
Ooh.
I like The Stand.
I like The Stand because
I like
I'm
The
a
Stand, yeah.
sick SOB.
You're going with The Stand?
No, I like The Stand, so I want to go with Outbreak.
You're going with Outbreak?
Yeah.
'Cause which one do you not want to watch?
Right. I like The Stand.
Not
so.
want to watch Outbreak.
See, like, I've never seen Outbreak, or I haven't seen it in a long time, or I've only seen parts of it, and it's on, like, Netflix now. I don't know if that's kind of inappropriate or not, but I like that I was actually going to watch it later.
So you're saying
I'm going to go with the other one.
Outbreak. All right. Well, the answer, in my opinion, is The Stand, but mostly because it's too flippin' long.
It is pretty long, yes.
It is long, yeah.
But then again, we're quarantined for a whole month, so I guess it'd be all right. You know, we can just keep
that'll
taking
kill
breaks.
3 days, you know.
You know, whatever. We'll do all that. So what can I say? And number 10, true or false? Gallagher complains on the stage about the watermelons not splattering very far after smashing them with the Sledge-O-Matic. True or false?
True.
True, he says?
True.
Mid Martin?
True.
I'm going to go with everyone else. True.
It is absolutely true. On stage, he has complained in the past that when he hits a watermelon with Sledge-O-Matic, it does not splatter and go very far. Now, everybody, it is time for the After Strike. The After Strike is a follow-up to the 10th Lightning Strikes question. What did Gallagher say was the reason the watermelons were not splattering very far, and what did he do to fix the issue, enabling him to start launching juicy chunks of the popular garden fruit, reaching record distances?
I should know this, and I don't.
You don't know. That's the wrong answer.
I don't know.
Mad Martin, what is your answer, sir?
Oh, Struth. Now, see, Gallagher is not something we have over here, so...
Oh, so you're playing the Brit card.
I'm playing the Brit card, yeah.
They're too fresh, weren't they? Or something? I don't know.
All of you are wrong, and wrong. He said it was the rind on the watermelon, and the way he fixed it was he brought out a peeled watermelon with no rind on it, and yes, it launched to the back row. What a waste of food. That's why you don't put him in charge, right?
That's right.
And that has been Just a Few Questions. Yes, Just a Few Questions can be heard live during Inside the Mothership on a regular basis. That show airs at 12 noon Eastern here on these fine stations each and every week. Also, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., tune into this fine station for the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. It's 3 hours to get you moving and grooving in the morning. We'll have news, sports, talk, funny, laughter, phone calls, and music for your ear holes, all kinds of stuff going on. We continue again tomorrow as we are quarantined moving forward. Until next time, this is Alien Stone. Peace.